Welcome back then. Now we're going to look at part 2, definitions. Definitions, exactly what it says it is. It's the dictionary section of the book. In this part of the book, we have a list of all of the words or terms used in the book. Anything referred to that might be not standard, you'll find it here in definitions. So the definitions section, part 2, includes a variety of subject definitions such as earthing systems, voltage bands, wiring systems, overcurrent, and earthing and protective conductors. It simply is a dictionary in alphabetical order from A to Z. If there's a term used in the book, it's here in the section. Included with the definitions is a list of all the abbreviations used in the standard. So any abbreviation you're likely to encounter will be listed here. And in fact, in this list, it also lists the first place you're liable to see it. Along with that, there's another table of all the symbols used in the book. CA, CG, CMIN, they're all here, they're all listed with an example and an explanation of what each one is. They can be found at the back of the definitions section. So let's look at some definitions then. Combined short circuit current capacity, that's the maximum short circuit current which can be handled by two short circuit devices. Overcurrent coordination. In short circuit conditions of two OCPDs in series, resulting in a combined short circuit current capability higher than 1. Now a new definition for the 18th edition is selectivity. Selectivity replaces the original discrimination. And selectivity refers to the coordination of operating characteristics of two or more protective devices. We will be looking at that a little bit closer later. Our two main definitions that we've already come across, basic protection and fault protection, are here as well. Protection against electric shock under fault-free conditions and protection against electric shock under single fault conditions. Basic protection and fault protection feature very heavily throughout the entire standard. And line conductor. Now then, watch out for this one. A conductor of an AC system for the transmission of electrical energy other than a neutral conductor, protective conductor, or a pen conductor. We would have once upon a time called this the live conductor, but this is now the line conductor. And the term also refers to the equivalent conductor of a DC system unless otherwise specified. Part 2 has definitions relating to verification, inspection and testing as well, and these definitions provide consistency of the understanding of commonly used terms. Remember, verification includes inspection and testing, and then certification. Reporting relates to periodic inspection and testing. 3 other definitions I mentioned earlier that I would cover. Skilled person used to be called a competent person, but now a skilled person is a person who possesses, as appropriate to the nature of the electrical work to be undertaken, adequate education, training and practical skills, and who is able to perceive the risks and avoid hazards which electricity can create. We have this category called instructed person, which is a person adequately advised or supervised in order to perceive the risks, and then everybody else are ordinary persons. So as an electrician, you will be classified as a skilled person. We've got other definitions in there, such as nominal voltage ranges. We've got extra low, reduced low, low. Look them up. Voltage is nominal. And then of course, I keep mentioning this and you're going to hear a lot more about it yet to come, external influences. And external influence is defined as any influence external to an electrical installation which affects the design and safe operation. You're probably more than aware and quite au fait with this, but IP ratings also feature quite heavily in the book, and these are connected with external influences. IP ratings, two simple numbers, IP2X and IP4X being the common ones, of course, used quite heavily in electrical installations, because IP2X being the minimum protection required by a barrier and IP4X being the stricter requirement is used on horizontal top surfaces or barriers of enclosures. Finally, in the back of definitions, you'll find this chart here drawn on the left. It's actually quite a badly drawn out diagram of an earthing and bonding system, which I've also included on the right hand side a little bit clearer. You may get a question in the exam asking you to identify one of these parts or one of these cables on that picture on the left hand side, so just spend a little bit of time and have a look at that and just acquaint yourself with where it is, so that if it does pop up in the exam, you know where to go. Now then, what will the exam questions look like? Well, here's two typical questions. It's not just going to say what is the definition of fault impedance or what is the definition of low voltage. The question is going to be written in such a way, like here in question 12, the impedance of the earth fault currently starting and ending at the point of earth fault ZS is called. So how would we look that up in the definitions? Well, it's a multiple choice exam. We've got 4 answers. So let's look. A, earth impedance, is it there? No. Work through the answers one by one in the definition section till you find the right one. Similarly, at question 4, a voltage of 230 volts AC RMS is defined as? Well, I just mentioned it a moment ago, voltage is nominal actually sets out the voltage levels. So you could go into voltage is nominal, look up, and yes, if you found low voltage, 230 does fall in the low voltage category. That's the kind of questions you're liable to get. So overall, part 2, fairly straightforward part of the book. It's the dictionary section. It's got those symbols in it. It's got the abbreviations in it. And remember to have a look at that earthing bonding diagram at the back there, because you may well get a question asking you to identify parts of it. That's it for part 2. I'll be back with part 3 and I'll see you shortly.